Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Gina and today we are off to try some manga. Okay, so have I already filmed this clip? Yes, I did a week and a half ago. Did I find out it was blurry? Yeah, I did. Hello, welcome back to my channel. I did! So, we are going to go through what I've decided to do. So, I've never read any mangas. Never have. But I wanted to try some. So, I went to my local library and I got 5 different mangas in 5 different genres. I think. At least I thought at the beginning I did. Or that looked different. And I decided to try it and find my taste. I've always been intimidated because of the format. And I just got into graphic novels a little while ago. So comic books have always kind of been a thing in my house because my husband's super into comic books and we've been together about 4 years. But graphic novels was something kind of new to me and I recently read Heartstopper and absolutely loved it. So I wanted to consume more picture literary format type stuff. So these are the 5 I've got. First, the plus size elf, just because it looked cute. This was in the adult section. I got Blackbird because this looks like a fantasy romance and it's February now, when I'm filming this after I've read this. Next, My Love Story. This art looked very different, so I thought I would try something with a different art style to see if maybe that was more my taste. These other 2 were recommended from booktubers. I think specifically Becca in the Books, who I'll have linked down below, recommended these 2, but they've been recommended everywhere. So the first one is Tokyo Ghoul Volume 1. So this is a horror manga. And then the other one is Fruit Baskets, and I had no idea what this was about, not at all, but I knew it was highly recommended. So I decided to go with it. Okay, so it's now a week and a half later and I have read them. Again, I filmed that clip and then found out it was blurry. Yay! So let's talk about what I read. The first thing I read was Plus Sized Elf. This is terrible. I gave this a 1 star. Don't read this. It's explicit for no reason. It's super body shamey. It's incredibly sexist. Like, I really just thought that it was gonna be like this cute thing about a plus size elf. No. There are images I can't show on the internet. I know like some think like it tends to be a little raunchier, which is fine. I expected that. I totally expected that. I didn't expect this. It was nudity for no reason. It was like I wasn't expecting it it made no sense in the story. And my husband even said, who has read manga before, goes, yeah, that's as close to hentai as you can get. And it still be manga. So don't read this. Not only because of the nudity. No, not at all. Like, I'm fine with nudity if it's in an adult book. This was in the adult section. Like, that's totally fine. Because that's how some people express themselves. So that's fine. But the storyline is terrible. It's mean and terrible to women and just don't. Like, they call her fat all the time. It's so body shamey. So body shamey, so sexist. There's like this perfect like physician. He's the only guy in the story. No, not worth it. Not worth it. Terrible. Now, the next one I read though was My Love Story. And I loved My Love Story. It was so cute. So it's all written, like it has manga style art, but as you can see, this one guy is drawn significantly differently than everybody else. And I'm obsessed with him. He's so naive. He's so adorable. Everyone in this story is adorable. And I'm obsessed. So I will keep reading this one for sure. This is literally just like a contemporary, cute little like contemporary romance, no fantasy elements, none of that, just adorableness. This is what I was looking for when I wanted things like Heartstopper. This. So I highly recommend this. Next is Blackbird. So this is an interesting one. This is definitely fantasy romance. he like turns into a crow, which is just super interesting. And he's like a demon, and she's like supposed to be a demon bride. It's not spoilers, I think that's like literally, yeah, that's literally something that's like on the back. So it just is interesting. I really enjoyed it actually. I was kind of surprised. It reminds me of those like werewolf alpha type stuff, which I read a lot of like on Kindle for like free. I used to read that fanfic. Like, I'm just one of those people. So it was just interesting. So it was a little smutty. I don't know if this is older YA. I would definitely say older YA because they do talk about sex and stuff in here, but it wasn't anything like, girlfriend. It wasn't anything like this. Like, it wasn't raunchy. It wasn't like full nudity for no reason. There were sexual connotations in it though. But overall I enjoyed it. It's very much just a fantasy romance, smutty kind of book. I'm gonna continue on with it. So I would recommend this if you're older, and if you like smut, because I think that's gonna happen. Like, there were some sex-y scenes, but no sex scenes, and I think the smut might come a little later on, because they do talk about it quite a bit, so. Alright, next I read Tokyo Ghoul. I objectively see why people would love this. It is a good story. It is an interesting manga. I hated it. Not like the storyline. The storyline was very interesting. It is gory. It is gory and gross, and that is part of the point. Very much body horror, which is like not my cup of tea, which I knew kind of going into it. Like, I was aware I might not like this one, but manga horrors are huge, so I thought I would try it and see. It's gory, to me. I mean, obviously, I'm a wuss, so like, I don't read body horror. I read horrors. Like, the first horror book I read was Mexican Gothic, and I was like, oh my goodness, horror. So like, I think that kind of gauges it if you've ever read Mexican Gothic. Yeah, I know. Kiddo is down here playing with her little clicky bee. So I was like not into it, but I understand why people would be into it. So if you are into horror, I would recommend this highly because the storyline, great. The writing, cohesive. The art, graphic. So if you like it, go for it. Next, Fruits Basket. Fruits Basket was adorable. So probably the first 2 chapters I was like, meh, it's okay. This is a fantasy romance, which I had no idea about. It's actually about people that change into the Chinese zodiac, like little guys. Animals, that's the word. I'm like, little guys. Who am I? What the hell? Yeah, they changed into the Chinese zodiac animals, which is so cute. The little girl in it is adorable. The whole thing is just adorable. Like, if they hug the opposite sex, they turn into their little animals. Otherwise, they're human. So there's nudity, but it's just like, oh crap, I turned back into a human on all her clothes on kind of nudity, and you don't see any of it. Yeah, this is just so cute. This is a very YA contemporary with a fantasy twist. Like, I would say this is fantasy romance with a little smut older YA. This is very YA fantasy romance, sort of. Contemporary romance with a fantasy twist is very much more this one than it is this one. She has to keep the secret and stuff like that. There's some mysteries going on. There's a curse involved, which is super interesting. There's a curse involved in this one too. So I think these are 2 ends of the spectrum when it comes to this genre. I thought this was just contemporary, and it's not, definitely not. So I would say, like, if you lean more towards the smutty or like fanfics, this one. If you lean more towards like cute, summery, like Morgan Matson type stuff, I would lean this way. Overall, it's hard to switch formats. It's hard to move from a manga to a regular book and then back to a manga. So I did okay because I did that for the first one and I hated it. I didn't like switching back and forth because I was reading a book at the time. So I have now switched it, like when I read a manga, I just read a manga. And then I can switch to another format, just because you kind of lose track if it's not natural to you, which like totally makes sense. And so I think as you read more manga, it becomes more natural to you. But that's what I was scared of, is getting lost and confused in the story because I couldn't follow correctly the way that pages are laid out and stuff. And some of them are like, they're all laid out differently. Like you read left to right, and like that's kind of a hard concept sometimes. When I was tired, I couldn't read these because I like was reading the wrong bubbles. But the good thing is like you usually get confused before you get girlfriend. You usually get confused before you get lost in the story. Like you usually get confused before it spoils something. So like that's what I was worried about, is like accidentally spoiling myself for something big and not getting like to the right point. That doesn't happen because of like if something big's happening on a page, like you get it at the beginning. So that was really nice. That was a good change. Like that was, overall I feel significantly more confident in it and comfortable. So I think I'll definitely add manga to my list of genres that I really want to read. Girlfriend, you're making all kinds of noise today. My kiddo's decided she wants to join into the video. She sat with me while I read the mangas, so she might have some opinions, but not myself though. But it was really interesting to do, and it was a fun experiment. If you haven't read any manga, I highly recommend. I would review some stuff first, try a couple different kinds, because I'm going to continue on with 3 of this series: Fruits Baskets, Blackbird, and my love story. But Plus Size Elf and Tokyo Ghoul are not my thing, so those are going back to the library, and I won't continue on with this series. So I really recommend trying like a batch like this, trying some different kinds out and then going from there. So that's it for me today. I hope this video was relaxing for you. I hope you just had a good time just chilling and talking about books with me. If you have any questions or want to let me know anything, how you feel about manga, down below, I would love some comments. Like, subscribe, share this video if you feel like it. And I really just hope to see you again. Have a nice day. Bye.